Tyler, I love how you're sitting right now.
Dude, I'm fucking vibing.
I'm feeling like Leonardo DiCaprio, and you're kind of looking like
baby.
Yeah, you're kind of looking like Kate Winslet right now.
Oh, you know it.
If I replicated, I'm already starting off this podcast with a weird stroke sound. If I replicated that sitting position, you know what I would feel?
Oh, nothing, because you're like, what, 5 pounds lighter since the last time we recorded?
I have a missing organ.
Yeah, our last recording session we had to postpone because we were like, hey, I'm ready to record. And Lindsey was like, hey, I'm about to die. Lindsey's like, I'm going to die if I don't go to the hospital. Bitch lost her appendix.
On purpose?
On purpose.
Did you sell it?
On accident.
Can you charge
I'll have you know.
the hospital? You sold them an appendix.
That's true. Well, I sold them a defunct appendix,
Yeah,
so I don't.
Appendix.
I'd have to give him a discount. And I'll have you know, his name was Gary.
You named him Gary, or the doctor's name was Gary?
The appendix. I named. Okay.
I was about
my
to say, I thought the
brother
doctor was
named the appendix.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it's a great name.
So Sunday night, I think it was it the Sunday before our last recording was supposed to be, or the Sunday after?
I believe it was the one before, because I was getting prepped.
Right, because I texted you guys and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be here this week.
And I was like, oh, what a fucking flake. Just show up anyway. Just do it from the hospital bed. God damn.
You were probably like heavily medicated. That would have been a great episode.
You're right.
It would have.
She would have been running around like a fucking wallaby, dude.
Making crop circles and shit.
I would be drawing Gary in the crops. That would be my ode to Gary, who probably well, maybe the doctor was actually an alien and he wanted my organ.
That's true. That's true. You know, interesting thing about Gary is when you spell Gary's name in his native tongue, it's actually just the first 10 digits of pi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how'd the surgery go?
Good. So Sunday before the podcast, I was having like really bad stomach pains, and I did like the normal things I do when I have stomach pains, like take some Tums, try to go potty, like have some ginger ale.
Yeah, I remember you even texted me about it, and you're like, what the fuck am I going to do? Dude, this sucks. Like, and I mentioned like, hey, ever since I was a kid, saltines and ginger ale, that always settles my tum-tum. And you were like, oh, you're so fucking right.
Yeah, and it made me feel worse. And that was the first sign that I was like, something is wrong. Because you're right. No, ginger ale's helped me before. Like, I would have Coke or ginger ale in the house at all times because I don't want my stomach to, like, not have something to calm it down. And then, so my dad had his appendix rupture when he's a kid, and it almost killed him. So it's something I've always been very well aware of and, like, what it is. And then a couple hours go by, and it still has not gotten better. It's gotten worse, and it's centralized on the right side of my body. And then this was a symptom I didn't know existed.
Lindsey, up top, the right sides of our bodies are fucked. That's where my sciatica is a bitch.
We can't take your spine out, though, Tyler.
It's not part of my spine.
Oh, it's a nerve, right?
Yeah, it's sciatic nerve. It's near my spine.
Well,
you can't take my spine. Why not? What if I want to be a jelly
we could try.
I want to be a gummy bear, but in real life. Just throw me in a pool of vodka and I'll be fine. Oh my god, that's what I should bring instead of drinks sometime. Just a bunch of vodka bears.
Dude, don't do that to me.
That'd be fun.
Don't do that to me.
I haven't had that in a long time.
Since like college.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I didn't like them either. What? Anyway. So, the one symptom that made me be like, so I tried to call a nurse hotline, but apparently my insurance plan does not have one of those like I did on my old. I finally saw online that if you have like moderate to severe rigidity in that area, like I could not move.
Wait, what'd you say?
Moderate to severe rigidity.
I heard virginity.
Stiff.
See, I also heard that at first, but then like she like did the movement thing. Oh, rigid.
Yeah, no, it was very stiff. Not in a painful way, although it did hurt to move in a lot of ways. It was stiff as shit. And I looked that up, and that was like one of the things that said, okay, this is 100% my fucking appendix. I'm calling the ambulance. I called my dad first, He says, yeah, if you can't drive and you have no one close by to take you to the hospital, just call an ambulance. Because at that point, I was also dizzy as shit because, fun fact, I take gabapentin for both restless leg syndrome and insomnia. And I had been ignoring the fact that I took my gabapentin 3 hours prior, and that shit makes you woozy. I could not drive.
Quick aside, my girlfriend and I, one of our cats has like, it's so weird. He's like crippling social anxiety. We actually have a gabapentin prescription for our fucking cat.
Look, I was talking about this. I was talking about this with my girlfriend and my best friend a number of years ago. It's like the most prescribed anti-anxiety cat medicine on the market.
So
Kitty
fucking
gabapentin
funny.
is used for fucking everything.
Dude, you give it to him and he turns into a goddamn stoner. It's so good. He just fucking like laying there. One time we gave it to him and he just laid down next to his food bowl, tipped it over, and just started like eating it off the ground while he was laying down. And I was like, buddy, that's my vibe every day.
God.
Dude, when Carol moved to California with her 3 cats, she had to give them gabapentin because they had to get on a plane. And her vet was like, you should test this on the cats before you leave, just in case they have an allergic reaction or if they get pukey. We tested it on one of her cats, and only one of them really reacted to it in like this funny stoner way. Her kitty cat, Minnie, was walking on the back of the couch, and we knew it hit because she's like the most graceful cat she has. Minnie could not walk in a straight line, and like she's walking, and then she like wobbles, and she just like falls directly sideways off the couch and onto the floor, and her eyes are blown wide open, and we're like, oh my god,
I can smell the colors.
Stoned.
Oh, that's so good.
That's hilarious.
But anyway, long story short, I ended up in the hospital about 12 hours after my admission, 12 or 13 hours after my admission. After I had found out that I found it so early, one of the doctors didn't want to take it out, but the surgeon himself came in and poked me a few times and said, yep, I'm taking that, and left the room. Yeah, they removed Gary. I recovered very quickly, all things considered.
Yeah,
my friends were all like, why the fuck are you up and moving around so quickly? And I'm like, I don't know, I don't hurt. I don't hurt. I had more of a reaction to the adhesives on my bandages than I did to the fucking
If I sleep wrong, I'm out for the count for like the whole day. Yeah. I'm an 80-year-old man. Like, you're older than me. I have
absurdly high pain tolerance.
Fuck off.
I do.
I'm just always in pain.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Crack Open a Cryptid. I'm Tyler Shively.
Forgot to turn my set.
Yours was
I'm Adrian Castro. By the way, these crack so whack.
They're whack as shit, dude, but they're so tasty.
They are.
Welcome to another open of Crack Open My Organs.
I think you had the best one this time. I'm drinking an absolute lovely 805 from the Firestone Walker Brewing Company. 805 is a delicious beer. I think it's nationwide, but I know it's brewed in California.
Yeah, and I'm drinking this Mike's Hard White Freeze. It's delicious.
What
I think
flavor is it?
White Freeze.
I know, but like take a sip and tell me what flavor you think it is, because that one I have an idea.
See, it's sweeter than I thought it would be. It's like a cherry, maybe?
See, that was my initial thought, but can I hit you with what I think it's supposed to be?
Go for it.
I think it's supposed to be grapefruit.
Grapefruit, okay. See, I would have thought maybe watermelon.
Not quite, though.
Not quite. By the way...
They're so tasty.
Yeah. By the way, all right, so I showed you this before we got onto the podcast. I didn't show Lindsey, but like about 2 years ago, I was shooting...
Oh my god, yes.
Yes, so like... I work in a real estate office. Okay, so part of my job, especially before like we switched formats, I would have to like go shoot or like help shoot like house videos and shit.
Like house tours.
House tours, yeah. And like the first thing that we would have to do when we got to every single house would be we go throughout the entire house, we open the blinds to all the windows, and we like turn on all the lights, make sure everything works. If it doesn't, then we know what we'll use a flash for or whatever. But like part of my job at that time, I would also do like vlogs for all the real estate agents. When there were multiple real estate agents in this office, and so like I have this clip, and like it's in the raw footage where I'm going throughout the house. Like I just happen to leave the camera on.
Yeah,
And
just like walking around.
And like I'm walking around, I'm not filming anything. And like I walk past this closet. All right, so I walk past it, I turn on a light, I walk past it again, and then there's this white figure the second time that I pass it.
Straight up motherfucker got a ghost on camera.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll put it up on the Discord because I forgot that I could do that.
Toss me a screenshot of it when you can too, and I'll put it on the Instagram for people to see. Like, here's the thing: ghosts aren't real. But it's better than that fucking Amityville picture. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and see, like again, ghosts aren't real, but I've all right. People say it's a lens flare. First off, the way that lens flares work,
It's not facing the right direction.
it's not facing the right direction. Also, it's not the right color
Yeah,
because that thing is
because
white.
it would match the room around.
Yeah,
it.
and like it's like a warm light.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
I mean,
not
like,
that.
I don't know if it's because I, like, blew it up real bit. Okay, yeah, no, when I put it in full screen, it didn't even look like a person.
But see, if you go like slowly, like you could see a head. You
There's
could
enough
see
of
shoulders.
a shape with like a big creepy smile and like.
And like as someone, I remember the room. I remember the exact room. There is there's no shirts. Like it was an empty house.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing.
You've left out the most important thing about that house, by the way. that you
Oh
told
yeah,
me.
somebody did die in that house.
Yeah, there was an actual death in the house too. So it's like,
Well, that's why that's
Fuck.
why it got sold. It was an older couple. Well, no, it was a widow who died, and like they even had the estate sale. They sold everything.
oh man, classic ghost setup.
Yeah. So like,
There's only two types of ghosts: old ghosts and ghosts that appear when the girl gets her period for the first time. That's not a bit, by the way. That's constantly like ghosts, like demonic ghosts are attracted to girls who just got their first period or in puberty. That's the Enfield poltergeist. She had just gotten her period, and then the fucking like demon dude shows up.
I've never heard of that before.
This is a
ever.
weird thing that shows up a lot when you're talking about like demonic ghosts.
I feel like that's some, like, Christian.
Yeah, some weird misogynistic
propaganda.
bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, trust me,
Like-
I've always gotten the same vibe from it, but it's like, but why does it keep happening?
Don't tell anyone about your period or that you're of fertile breeding age without being married, or the demon's gonna get you.
Demon shows up at the house being like, damn, she be submissive and breedable, am I right?
no, yeah, but I just got reminded of that. Well, not only because it's the 2-year anniversary of me finding that, because like Facebook like reminds me of the shit constantly. But also like I put it up on Instagram, like, oh hey, look at this cool ghost I found, like kind of joking. And my cousin replies like, oh, is that the ghost that is like lives in your room?
I'm sorry.
So my family used to live with us, and her and her sister, my two cousins, used to sleep in the room that I'm currently in. And apparently they used to see a man every night.
Was he wearing a hat?
No.
Okay, because that's a common thing.
Yeah, but like just some dude who would just like stand on like the foot of their beds and just watch them sleep until they would cry out for the dad.
No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
My sister and I would see in one house we used to live in, we would see a silhouette of a man wearing like a fedora or a trilby. And apparently that's actually a pretty common depiction of like sightings that people see of like a ghost or whatever.
I don't know.
So what you're saying is the next time I come to California and crash on your couch, I need to bring my fedora and just like awkwardly stand in doorways until at nighttime. Maybe I will not only scare Harley next time, I'll also scare you.
I'm gonna bop you one straight up. I come around corner, you're standing there, your nose is just fucking forfeit.
Your elbow is basically face level.
Sorry,
Take your
I
ass out.
would.
And he was very
Would.
tall, Lindsay. Fuck you.
Sorry, I'm like going through
You short ass bitch.
I'm going through the Rolodex of
Wow.
shit that's happened in my house like throughout the years, and I just realized like there was a time where my cousin, like after my cousins left, where an uncle, my uncle who's also a priest, stayed in that room before I moved in there, and he would tell me that like he would feel like someone was watching over him while he slept.
See, that's the creepiest ghost story to me. The ones of like people just standing at the end of your bed watching you.
Yeah.
I don't know why that fucks me up more than anything.
But see, I've slept in that room for 3 years, and I've never seen anything. But anyways,
tell us your ghost stories in the comments.
Dude.
Honestly, straight up, if anybody watching this has like
all right, so like
paranormal stories, send it to us. I would love to do an episode where we read like things that people sent in.
Ghosts, if you've seen a UFO or an alien,
anything
Bigfoot,
like weird, just fucking. Even if you're like, I don't even know what it is, but it's fucking weird, right? Tell me about it. I love weird shit.
Yeah.
That's my vibe. Also, when was the last time you had an 805, Adrian?
It's been a while.
Take a little swig off that.
Oh, dude,
that's a tasty one.
I love 805s.
That's a good beer. I don't really like beer, but that's a good one.
That's a great one. All right, so speaking of local legends,
Love me some peanut water.
Speaking of local legends, so I guess I'll dox this to the entirety.
They know where we are.
So we record these in a city called Riverside, California.
It's one of the bigger ones in Southern California.
It's one of the
right?
bigger ones. Yeah. Like we're bigger than Pittsburgh, even though like
Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah, I think we're at like 350,000 residents. Pittsburgh's only like 310 or something.
Huh.
Yeah, but we're not very known. Not a whole lot of shit happens out here.
It's like an up and coming city.
It's
right?
an up and coming city, yeah. But there is a legend that has been passed down since the 50s of something called, and you're gonna love this, the Riverside Brain Tickler.
You're fucking with me.
I'm not fucking with you.
Say it again.
The Riverside Brain Tickler.
That's not real.
Or I think
Are you going to refer to an image at any point in this podcast?
Oh my god, please.
I mean, I could get you an image, but it'll
Googling
like
it.
completely
I'm Googling it
ruin
right
it.
now.
Are we allowed to Google it?
Google it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the actual official title is the Brain Tickler of Riverside. There's only one drawing of it that I could find.
I never like typing tickler or tickle.
It's
I know, it feels
Tickler.
Oh, I see the one image with the car.
Yeah, it's a car, and he's like kind of.
Oh,
It's
he's
just
kind of
like a really skinny thing with an ant head.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
a tall gray.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's go through the story.
He looks like the Dover Demon.
We'll get to that. So
Wait, fucking really?
Charles Wetzel was just trying to get home, but he never bargained for what would eventually happen to him on the night of November 8th, 1958. As he neared the point where North Main Street, which is, by the way, the street that we're actually
Holy
on.
shit! Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Oh shit!
I didn't even think about that.
Yes. So as he neared the point where North Main Street crosses the Santa Ana River, which is actually 2 miles away
Yeah, I know
from
exactly
where,
where
we're at.
this is. That's weird.
As he neared the point to where the North Main Street crosses the Santa Ana River, he found that the river was overflowing the road and slowed down. Suddenly, he noticed that the radio signal was drowned out by static.
Yo, this is some nope shit.
Almost simultaneously, something leaped out from the underbrush and landed right in front of his car. So, from his this is an account. It had a round, scarecrowish head, like
What a weird depiction.
like something out of Halloween. It wasn't human. It had longer arms than anything I'd ever seen. When it saw me in the car, it reached all the way back to the windshield and began clawing me.
Oh, fuck off. No, I'm all right.
It didn't have any ears. The face was all round. The eyes were shining like something fluorescent, and it had a protuberant mouth. He later recalled that the thing's legs stuck out sideways from the body, and the skin looked scaly like leaves.
So I got sideways from the body?
Yeah.
So, like, they didn't jut down from the hips. They, like...
I'm assuming so, but
Oh,
like,
God,
but
gross,
also you
weird.
have to realize, like, it's late at night, it's raining, and like, you know,
yeah,
this
it's going to be
fucking
hard to get a
thing.
good depiction of
Yeah.
like, this creature.
As the length All right. So sorry for this. I don't exactly know what this word is. Look it up later. Let me know if I'm
me see.
saying a slur.
Oh no! Yeah, let me see.
Oh God. This is the 50s, right?
It is the 50s.
I have never seen. I'll say
Put in Discord.
hoobajoob.
Put in Discord. No. Put in Discord.
I can cut it out. Hoobajoob.
Okay.
Here, you ready, Linz?
Yeah.
HOOBAJOOB. Hoobajoob.
Urban Dictionary.
If this
What
isn't
is
a
it?
slur, it's my new favorite word.
The first entry on Urban Dictionary is, Jesus, haven't y'all seen South Park? A hoobajoob is a random, usually large object.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's like a cromulent thing.
Sure.
A synonym for a thingamajig, whatchamacallit, yeah, when the entity is unknown. So you did not just say a slur on the podcast.
Oh, thank God.
So as the lanky hoobajoob clawed at his windshield and screeched, Wetzel reached for a .22 caliber pistol he kept under the seat,
God bless America.
quickly changing his mind about opening the window or shooting through the one thing that separated him from the monster.
Most sensible gun owner in America, I gotta say.
Right?
Like,
Yeah. So instead, he floored it. The thing tumbled off the hood to the ground, not caring what the thing fucking was, or particularly concerned for its safety. Wetzel ran it over. He felt the scraping underneath and heard more screaming and gurgling from the creature. He hightailed it to the nearest Riverside police station.
Yeah.
Officers noted scratches on the hood and windshield and smears.
Really? So there's physical.
No,
like,
no. This is
interesting.
an actual account. So
You love when there's a physical attribute like.
And you
can
love it
be
when the
seen.
guy's first reaction isn't to be like, I'm gonna hang out with it, or I'm gonna touch it, or I'm just gonna like get out of my car and run away. He's
Yeah,
like,
because
it's like,
I'm
what the
running this
fuck is
bitch
that?
over.
When you see a creature like this, your first thought is going to be, can I fuck it? If the answer is yes, you fuck it. If the answer is no, you hit it with your car.
Mm-hmm.
There's only two options.
So officers noted the scratches on the hood and windshield and smears along the oil-covered underside. But returning later to the scene with bloodhounds, they found nothing.
Can you do me a favor and reread the description of the creature for me
Sure.
from earlier?
All right. So, from Charles's own words, it had a round, scarecrowish head.
I still don't get that.
Yeah. I'm assuming, well, scarecrowish, like
Like it's just
it's,
perfectly
It's
round?
just perfectly round.
okay.
Or at the very least, the cranium was.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Okay.
It was something out of Halloween. It wasn't human. It had it had longer arms than anything I've ever seen. When it saw me in the car, it reached all the way back to the windshield and began clawing. It didn't have ears. The face was all round. The
And
eyes
it had like a snout, right?
it didn't look like it.
The protruding mouth kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had eyes that were shining like something fluorescent.
Okay. So I'm trying not to get too far into it because you told me to hold my thought on that.
Uh-huh.
It's very similar to the Dover Demon, which is a far more popular cryptid. The problem is though, and I might be remembering this incorrectly, but the Dover Demon is small. It's like 3 feet tall.
We'll get to that.
Okay, and this thing seems much taller.
We'll
I
get
mean, it's
to
way
that.
towering over the car in the
okay.
picture.
Yeah, exactly. I was hoping for like, did he say like a height? But he just kind of gave an idea of the
Yeah,
height,
well,
which is still too big.
Here's another thing. Again, it was dark. It was raining.
Mhm.
And, like, this thing just immediately attacked him. So, like, I mean, I've been attacked by a chicken before.
Birds, man.
That thing, while it was attacking me, seemed massive.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So, like, I'm sure, like, if this thing was, like, reaching out to you, like, trying to get you, you're going to think it's
It's
a lot...
like an early 3D movie.
Yeah, you're going to think it's a lot bigger than it actually was. But yeah, so the next night, oh right, so they went back to the site with bloodhounds,
and didn't
found
find
nothing.
anything.
The next night, another spooked driver reported a similar experience in the same area.
Interesting. So it has a territory.
Mm-hmm. If anyone else saw the pumpkin-headed ghoul, they kept it to themselves. And the Santa Ana River Basin has been quiet ever since then.
The Santa Ana is wildly haunted, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Except in the 1970s when Bigfoot-like tracks were discovered
Yeah.
nearby.
Yes, I do know about these because we do have like our own Sasquatch.
Yeah. Yeah. So, weird account. But there was another sighting that happened on 3 separate occasions that were very similar to this in the town of Dover, Massachusetts.
Okay, the Dover Demon. Yeah.
Okay.
This I know about.
Yeah. So this all happened in the same night, 20 miles southwest of Boston, Dover, Massachusetts, on April 21st and 22nd of 1977. So
Real quick, pause
Sure.
recording.
Uh-huh.
Lindsey, does he live in Boston, do you know? Or near
I don't think so.
Boston?
I
know
know
he's
he
from
had to
Mass.
travel for PAX. He had
Okay.
to drive for
Okay.
PAX, so he's not in Boston.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he was in Boston or not. I wonder if he's from Dover. I'm gonna ask him right now. Go on, Adrian. Sorry.
Sure.
Start from like a line back.
So this happened 20 miles southwest of Boston on April 21st and 22nd of 1977. So we're going to go...
You know what year that is?
Oh, yeah, it's the year Star Wars.
That's Star Wars year, baby.
Yeah. So we're going to go from sighting to sighting. So the first is the Bartlett sighting. So this thing eventually became known as the Dover Demon, as Tyler has told us. So it was first sighted at night by 3 17-year-old boys who were driving through the Massachusetts area when the car's headlights illuminated it. Bill Bartlett, the driver, reported that he saw what he thought at first was a dog or a cat, but upon closer inspection realized that it was a bizarre, unearthly-looking creature crawling along a stone wall on Farm Street.
Yeah, I've always thought of this thing as like if the gray aliens instead of like using human DNA to make like their hybrid, if they got like a fucking Wendigo.
Yeah, and almost any
Genuinely,
account
Lindsay,
you see,
look it up. Tell me it's not a
it's-
gray alien Wendigo.
it's fucking frightening. Any picture you look up of this
It's
thing,
a spooky one.
If
Or like a gray alien fucked a chupacabra.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
is another good.
Yeah, I love that.
It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
It's no Fresno Nightcrawler
No.
or Night Stalker, whatever the fuck
No.
that thing was. I love that thing.
So Bartlett continued to watch the creature, and he reported it to have disproportionately large, let me restart that sentence. Bartlett continued to watch the creature, and he reported it to have a disproportionately large, watermelon-shaped head and illuminated orange eyes like glass marbles.
Have you ever heard of the watermelon-headed children?
Yes, the melon heads.
Yeah, the melon-head kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to pop that out there.
Yeah. So, large reflective eyes, large circular head. Very similar. It had long, thin arms and legs with slender fingers, which it used to grasp onto the pavement.
Oh.
It was hairless and had rough, flesh-toned skin described as tan and sandpaper.
I was about to say, what color's flesh tone, motherfucker?
Yeah. The creature's appearance was very plain, with no nose or ears, and no mouth was seen. The witness drawings portray its head as having a skull shape, forming the contour of a circle on top with a more elliptical ending projecting down to include where the nose and mouth would be. The Dover Demon.
Sorry, that was such like a blast of explanation that
I
my
know.
brain is still trying to conjure the 3D image.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you read that one back one more time for me?
Sure. So the witness drawings, because this was witnessed by 3 people on the same night within like a couple of minutes.
It's even weirder because I've seen depictions of the creature and I'm like, I still don't know what the fuck that's
Yeah.
trying to tell me.
So it had the contour of a circle on top with a more elliptical ending projecting down to include where the nose and mouth would be.
Okay, it's describing that it
circular
goes from
and
the
then-
circular cranium into like the snout-esque part.
Yes, exactly. So other witnesses have claimed the creature had green eyes and seemingly smooth, chalky toned skin.
I've never heard of the green-eyed thing. That's weird.
Yeah, and they all say that it made a blood-curdling noise similar to a hawk's screech combined with a snake's hiss.
Which is why I think of the Wendigo when I
Yeah.
think of the creature.
But all witnesses say it had no ears, mouth, nose, or genitalia.
That's a shame. So you know what happens. You can't fuck it. You know what
Gotta
you do
run
now?
it over.
You gotta run it over.
Exactly.
God, I want a Witcher-esque game, but like you're hunting cryptids.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Talk about how. Did you see the image I posted in Discord earlier about the?
The
what
Dead
do
by
they call
Day
it?
hooked on you.
Dead by Daylight has an official. Okay, Dead by Daylight. For those of you who have not seen this,
The shitty asymmetrical horror game.
it would be less shitty if the community was less shitty.
I just don't
So
like
the
it.
the community for that game is either wildly toxic or wildly horny.
Which is the correct
And-
way
Yeah.
to be, the second one.
And I guess the devs were like, well, we're not having a great time curbing toxicity. Maybe we can cater to the horny ones.
So they're just
And-
like leaning into the horny. I respect that.
They are making a dating sim that just reminds me of like the Colonel Sanders dating sim. I'm pretty sure it's the same like actual developer, by the way.
The absolute fucking cowards. Who develops Dead by Daylight? What's the studio's name?
Behavior Interactive, I think.
Yeah, the
but I
absolute
think
fucking
they brought
cowards
the
at
Colonel
Behavior.
Sanders one in.
Absolute fucking cowards at Behavior Interactive. Didn't even contact Honey Pot Studios
Oh,
to
dude.
make a Dead by Daylight Honey Pop spinoff. Fucking cowards.
God.
Well, they're making a dating sim, and they released, I guess recently, the name and the splash art. It is Hooked on You, which is a reference to the actual Dead by Daylight game, because killers,
Put you on the hook.
their whole thing
Yeah.
is they throw you on a meat hook. And it's
Pretty
like
hot.
Yeah.
Trapper in a one piece flexing his muscles and looking at you devilishly under his mask. That's definitely Huntress in the corner. I don't know who the other one is. I think that could be like Legion or someone. And then one of the newer ones on the left that I haven't played in a while. But yeah, I saw this and I just was like, I haven't played Dead by Daylight in a long time. I will play this game.
I know that there is a generally well-respected fan-made pornographic Dead by Daylight game called Lewd by Daylight.
Oh.
I don't know anything about it other than that fucking stupid-ass name, but, you know, good for
Look,
them.
I'm waiting for that escape room game we were playing to just throw in a dating sim element. It's gonna do it.
Every character we've met, either me or Lindsay, been like, "Can I fuck him?" there's an enormous guy named Jeb Jebberson, and I need to see him without a shirt on.
And like, it's basically you go into it thinking it's a really just normal escape sim game,
Just
and
like
they've
you're gonna go
thrown in
from
like a
level to
bunch
level.
of different genres.
Yeah, you think you're just gonna go from like level to level. There's a fucking story and like character arcs, and it's like, what's happening?
You just
And
reminded
it's
me.
got
of-
like the same like visual novel like
Uh-huh.
2D sprites that remind me of Monster Prom.
Yeah, yep.
You just
Let me
reminded
fuck them!
I really need to download Inscription because everyone keeps telling me to
You
play
wait,
it.
you actually still haven't played Inscription?
I still haven't played
Holy
it.
fuck! Do you know anything about it?
I don't. But like, because in my head I'm thinking like Slay the Spire, or something similar.
Different type of deck builder, but yeah,
Okay.
it's closer.
Adrian-
It's closer to Magic than it is to Slay the Spire.
God.
Let me put it to you this way. I have two friends. The two friends that I stayed with outside are after I left Meg and Tyler's house, right?
Yeah.
They weren't really big into gaming. They tolerated me blabbing to them all the time.
Mhm.
They now played video games because of 3 video games. Animal Crossing got them into it. Hades got
Such a
them
good.
into
I
it.
was actually thinking I need to get back to Hades.
I played a lot of Hades when I was there because I normally don't like roguelikes, but I did play
Yeah.
it a lot. And Inscription.
Alright.
Those 3 games got them to be like, all right, we kind of like video games now.
See, I wasn't that big into Hades. You know what I do
That's
love,
very
though?
surprising to me.
You know what I do love, though? Fucking Returnal.
Really, you're into Returnal? I don't know much
It's
about it.
really good.
I've heard so many mixed reviews about
Same,
Returnal.
same.
It's really good. I mean, it's not for everyone, but I enjoyed it very much. So, anyways, back to these sightings. So, that one, the dude in the car, That was the first sighting. Second sighting, the Baxter sighting. The creature was sighted again an hour later by John Baxter, who was 15 at the time, and Pete Mitchell, who was 13, as they were walking home. He said it was bipedal and ended up running into a gully and standing next to a tree.
See, I was always Jesus Christ, 805 hitting. I was always under the impression that it was a quadrupedal, like it walked on all fours.
So
That's okay. I'm seeing an image. That's a gray alien.
yeah. I can't upload that. But if you look up Lindsey or whoever's listening, Dover Demon witness drawings, or you can look up at the screen. So all of these sightings were confirmed later. Well, we'll get to that. Cut this
Okay,
out.
I found it.
Yeah.
Also, I did contact our friend Evan, who lives in Massachusetts, and while he does live only an hour away from Dover, he has not heard of the Dover Demon, so we do not have a first-hand report. I did tell him about the brain tickler, though, and he's like, what the fuck is that?
Well, he probably hasn't heard of the Dover Demon because he is the Dover Demon.
Oh,
You
shit,
know
you
what?
right. You right.
You know what? I
Hey!
could see that.
Evan.
Earth Mysteries! What's up? Hire me!
All right. So
I'll crack all your cases.
the last sighting, the Brabham Trainter sighting. So this was the next day. Abby Brabham, who was 15, and Will Trainter, who was 18, claimed they have seen a similar-looking creature from Trainter's car on the side of the road. Brabham's description matched Bartlett's and Baxter's description, except this time the cryptid had illuminated green eyes. She approximated its height as, quote, about the size of a goat.
Yeah, okay, so this is much smaller than the brain tickler.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's such a funny fucking name, man. I love it.
Investigators attempted to shake up Ms. Brabham by noting she said it had green eyes reflected by the car's headlights, while Bartlett mentioned it had orange eyes. But she was steadfast in her description.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Like, car headlights, like, all right, if thing's
You're gonna
eyes
say
are
that-
reflective,
You're going to say a thing I was going to say.
like, yes, a different car's headlights, like, especially in 77, like, they had different
Well, it's the
types
tungsten
of-
versus
the
mercury.
tungsten versus mercury, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
Which
gases
are literally
that
green
are-
versus orange.
Exactly. So, like, that just proves that, like, yeah, they had different types of cars that were reflecting on the same pair of eyes.
Also, I'm just going to throw it out there.
Sure.
As people who have, for most of our lives, worked with cameras,
Uh-huh.
one very common thing, especially when looking at big cats, I guess all cats, but, you know, like nature documentaries will look at a big cat like a leopard or a lion or whatever. When you catch them on video, the angle you're looking at them from, their eyes, quote unquote, change color.
Yeah.
So even if these two people were in the same vehicle, but one in the driver's seat and one in the passenger seat, it is completely possible that they both saw a different eye color.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, they tried to shake her up, and she was like, no, this is what happened.
Sorry, I informed Evan that Lindsey believes that he knows nothing about the Dover Demon because he is the Dover Demon, and he replied, slurp, slurp, slurp.
Well, I sent him a really funny tweet the other day, out of context too. I'm going to read it just so everyone can really appreciate it. So his whole thing is that he makes jokes about Baja Blast all the time.
Yeah, I gave
Like-
him the wonderful username of Baja Blast My Ass.
Yeah, I sent him this. I am not having a Baja Blast. I am actually kind of having a Baja hard time. And I just thought it was the greatest thing. The greatest thing.
There's one that's been living in my head rent free where it was like, I'm gonna get the wording not exactly correct, but it's like God gives his greatest challenges to his greatest warriors. I am not one of them. Please leave me alone.
Hang on, I'm looking for a winky emoji. Okay. So, Bartlett, Baxter, Brabham, and Trainer all drew sketches of the monstrous sight shortly after their sightings. On the piece of paper that included Bartlett's sketch, he wrote, quote, I, Bill Bartlett, swear on a stack of Bibles that I saw this creature.
Bill Bartlett. What an unfortunate name.
I know, right? But yeah, so they were each asked to draw the creature, and they all drew the exact same
Oh,
thing.
you love to see it.
So, like,
Yeah, that's the
Great.
piece of shit that I know of.
yeah, so I don't know if you
Yeah.
could probably get closer than me.
Lindsay, look at camera.
Lindsay, look at the camera.
Okay, I found another one of those. No, I have that one up now too.
Yeah. So these are the images that all of the witnesses drew. They were all, separate. Nobody talked about like exactly what they saw. And that's some creepy ass shit.
That's one thing that especially in alien stuff that I love to see when people are asked to draw or describe what they saw, and it's like separate people that don't know each other said the same thing. That's always one thing that makes me go like, so it might not be aliens, but there is something happening, because what the fuck did they see to have the same description, especially when it's things where it's not like a famous thing yet.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, we talked about with the Mandela effect as well, right? Like people know about it, so they immediately will try. Because our brains are fucking weird. They'll try to apply that image to what they're seeing, and then they'll describe it wrong later because we have horribly fragile memories.
Yeah.
But when it's like a new thing and they describe it, that always gets me.
Well, this was within hours.
Yeah.
And all three different, like, they didn't even really know each other.
Yeah. I love it.
What the fuck? So
same with the other creepy ass one you did, the starry-eyed children.
yeah.
Or no, it was the
dark-eyed children.
The black-eyed children.
Yeah.
Because I remember specifically you took a swig at the wrong one when you said the black-eyed children. And Jeremy and I were like, woo!
Yeah, so in all counts, there was something that was kind of human, but not quite animal about the creature.
Yeah.
It seemed undeniable that something uncanny had come to Dover. Some chalk up the strange encounters to inebriation. While Bartlett says he and his friends were looking for beer that night, they never did imbibe.
Yeah, they were just looking for beer. They
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
find it yet.
I mean, they were 17.
They didn't have any of this shit like this right here.
Yeah. Alternatively, the creature could have been a foal or baby moose mistaken for something more sinister.
Okay, I can definitely see that from the face shape.
Though April wasn't full season and moose were long gone from Dover at the time of the sighting.
Rip.
Additionally, foals and moose don't stand on their hind legs, nor do they sit on top of walls.
All right, the wall thing, sure, but they do stand on their hind legs occasionally.
Do they?
I mean, that's what people thought the Fresno Nightcrawler was, but they said it was like deer.
Right.
On their hind legs, because sometimes they're just being fucking weirdos. Animals are weird as shit, just like us.
Yeah.
There's a great subreddit, r/like us, where just animals doing shit like people, and I love it.
Yeah. So Bartlett also denies that this creature could be any animal of any kind. Quote, this definitely wasn't a fox or animal. It was some kind of creature with long, thin fingers. The thing was more human-like in its form than animal. I've always tried to guess what it was. I've never had any idea. I wasn't trying to be funny. People who know me know I didn't make this up.
The long fingers fucks me
Yeah,
up.
that's
creeps
what also
me out.
fucks me up,
It
too.
creeps me out. I don't like it.
Lauren Coleman, a noted cryptozoologist from Maine, thinks all three sightings are credible. He spoke to the teens within a week of the reported sightings. We have a credible case. Quote, we have a credible case over 25 hours by individuals who saw something. Coleman believes that the Dover demon doesn't match any inexplicable sightings reported before, such as those as Chupacabra, Sasquatch, Roswell aliens, or bat-eared goblins from Hopkinsville.
They actually mentioned the Hopkinsville goblins.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
It's not just me.
Which, by the way, this is a cryptozoologist who's like, yeah, no, all of those are bullshit. But this one...
You tell me they're cryptozoologists and they're like, Roswell is bullshit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Roswell actually has some weird shit. I'm going to do a Roswell episode eventually when I'm ready to go down a rabbit hole for 3 months of my life again.
Ugh. Stranger still, weird sightings like this isn't out of the ordinary in Dover. This area of Massachusetts has had its fair share of weirdness throughout the centuries.
Absolutely. Massachusetts is a weird fucking state.
Yeah. Coleman noted that the area in which the Dover demon was sighted already had a history of unexplained activity. Quote, in the same area you had 3 major legends going on, including a sighting of the devil on horseback
Yeah.
in the 1600s, my bad.
Yeah, the Headless Horseman, essentially.
Yeah. There were stories of buried treasure and obviously the Dover demon.
Yeah.
Quote, I think
Even the Jersey Devil and the Squonk made it up there at some point.
to Massachusetts.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Dover?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't
The
know
Jersey
that.
Devils made its way up through Massachusetts. The Squonk was fucking all over the East
Oh.
Coast.
Yeah. Quote, I think it certainly says something. It's almost as if there are certain areas that collect sightings almost in a magnetic way, a la Gravity Falls.
I was going to say, you mean like a fucking ley line?
Like a ley line, yeah.
I got to rewatch Gravity Falls. That's a great show.
It's an amazing show. So
I just
yes,
hate any show where it's focusing on Mabel because it's like, oh my God, all your problems are yourself.
so yeah, Dover could be one of these like magnetic areas where just like a bunch of weird shit is constantly going on.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 1972, just 5 years before the Dover demon sightings, Mark Sinnott swore he saw a creature in the woods. Something with glowing eyes had turned up in the car's headlights.
That could be fucking anything.
So this was 5 years before the Dover demon sightings. Quote, we saw a small figure deep in the woods moving at the edge of the pond. We could see it moving in the headlights. We don't know what it was.
It was the Squonk.
But whatever the reality behind this barrage of odd occurrences, the Dover demon has since sparked a cultural phenomenon, as there are video games and figurines of the alien-like creature from as far away as Japan.
Yeah, the Dover Demon's
I didn't know there
popular
was
one.
video games for it. I was gonna say though, do you think like, especially in the Northeast, where like those states are all really condensed, on each other, that like, it makes me think of that painting of the dogs playing poker.
What
Do you
the
think
fuck?
like all of these do you not know what I'm talking about?
No, I know the
No, we
image.
know
I
the
just don't
image.
understand the association.
Yeah.
Watch. Let me finish.
Okay.
I feel like all of these cryptids live really close to each other, right? And they're like, look, I just got a great scaring, and I hear Tommy across the river got a great scaring, and they do like a monthly poker night
I love
in the middle
this.
of some cabin in the woods and talk about, oh yeah, and that guy ran me over with his car because he's scared so bad.
Yeah, they go to the cabin where the 13th child turned into the Jersey
Yeah,
Devil.
like they go hang
and,
out
like,
at Jersey Devil's place.
That honestly be I would watch that animated series.
Also, gotta say, what an incredible piece of merch that would be.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It could
Actually,
be like a story game or a movie or
I got
a
something
silly
coming
series.
next month that you would enjoy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What you got coming?
Oh, you'll see.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You gonna show me what you got coming? Okay. All right.
So, to finish this off, the Dover demon certainly makes for a good campfire tale, and a sufficient reminder to always have a buddy when driving down Farm Street southwest of Dover, just in case.
Yeah, it is funny because they talk about how like Dover area is like a hot spot for cryptid stuff. Obviously, Point Pleasant in West Virginia is as well. California, it's our mountain ranges, but those are mostly for murderers.
Right.
That's not even a joke. We're the murder capital of the states. But yeah, no, there are places where it's just like it's just a bunch of fucked up shit that happens out here, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the Dover demon / I kind of put the Riverside brain tickler in there.
I totally
you could see
understand why. It's just a bigger Dover demon.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same creature.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Also, why the fuck is it called the brain tickler?
Yeah, I was.
It
hoping
did not tickle this man's brain whatsoever.
There's this.
Yeah.
There's this image I have in my head, and I don't remember what cartoon it was from. But I remember there was a cartoon where some aliens get like the main cast, and they just literally put straws in their head, and then they drink their brains. You guys know what the fuck I'm talking about?
I know. I've seen.
Are you
this.
able to conjure the image as well?
I don't know what cartoon that was, but I have seen.
Yeah,
this.
I was assuming there was gonna be some shit like that.
Uh-huh.
Nah, he just be tickling brains.
Yeah, I know. And by tickling brains, it's like scratching the fucking windshield of the car trying to get you. But yeah, so more creepy shit. And I mean, we have a chance to possibly run into this thing at some point.
Dude, I hope so. I have to find out if it's fuckable though.
It didn't have any genitalia.
You need to have like at least 3 people in the car. You need the person to be like, "Can I fuck you? Can I fuck you?" Like rolling down the windows of your vehicle. "Can I fuck you?" And the other person's like, like cocking a shotgun. Like, "Oh, if he says no, I know what the next step is." And the third person is like in the back seat, like, "Can I get an interview when you do either the fucking or the killing?"
Also, thank God for Google. In the Fairly Odd Parents, it's the Yugopotamians.
That's
do it
what
when
it
they
is.
first show
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Simpsons for some reason.
You know, I was thinking Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
But
That would
very,
have been a good guess too.
very close. Very close.
No, but like I knew it was Simpsons because like it was a show I was for sure allowed to watch back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and that was not Simpsons. God. But yeah, I mean, it's just creepy little shit. Not an alien, I don't think.
It sounds alien to me. It sounds like a failed Gray experiment.
Potentially. But yeah, I mean, I tried to like find an explanation. I mean, the baby moose thing maybe, but
I can see it from the face shape. I can definitely see that.
But like the whole thing where every single account said it had long bony fingers.
Yeah, it fucks me up. I don't like that part. I don't like that part very much.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know what to think about this one.
Tell us in the comments, you fucking dummies.
Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe,
Yeah.
hit the bell notification to be notified when we drop
And
either
this
the
podcast
next
is,
podcast
is
episode.
sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. No, we're not. That game
Unless-
fucking blows.
Unless they pay us enough.
In which case, that game fucking rules. But will never work for Shock Top because they can eat our ass.